have in Duffield because that work is finished. In 2007, we were out here trying to fight for this house to be preserved and a number of other buildings on the street. We're talking about the reason why this street is called Abolition Place. We were fortunate with the help of one of our former board members, Mom and George Chatel, to actually fight in eminent domain case to demolish these buildings, to demolish this history, and we were successful back then. But when we weren't successful at that moment was to actually take this and keep it for posterity and turn this into a landmark. And that's why we are here today. We're here today to make sure that 227 Duffield becomes a landmark that's preserved for posterity, and so that future generations of Brooklynites can really understand, see, take in, and appreciate this history.
Black landmarks matter!
Black landmarks matter!
Black landmarks fail! Black landmarks matter!
Brooklyn's not for sale!
And on that note, I want to ask myself.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah Bakibon. I'm the Executive Director of CJI, the Circle for Justice Innovation. We're a fund that is very unusual. We fund grassroots organizations working to transform the criminal justice system. And we do that with activists, donors, grantees, and all of us working together. People who are impacted by the system. We only fund organizations led by impacted people. And why, you may ask, is that organization here? Well, the reason is because what's very important for us, what we have to remember, is our history. We need to remember that Brooklynites were at the forefront of supporting freedom, that they were at the forefront of putting their lives on the line to ensure that people who were enslaved, these rights were absolutely denied them, were able to come to freedom. They were supporting that work, not only as people on Unbound Railroad, the Truesdales, Harriet, and Thomas Truesdale who owned this house, but also they were speaking out, they were holding mock auctions at a church nearby. The tunnel, they believe that's still here in this building used to go all the way to that church and to other homes on this block. The reason that it's so important for us to remember that is because right now we are facing unjust laws. Right now, we have people who are being denied their freedom. Right now, we are snatching children from their mother's arms. And so it's really critical for us to remember that we fought this. We, black people in the United States, abolitionists, white people who are abolitionists, Brooklynites, we fought against injustice, and we need to recall that. We need to be teaching our children that. We need to be bringing them in here and showing them the tunnel that used to save people who would otherwise be in the bowels of hell, which is slavery. And so it's critical for us to be part of reminding the people of New York, the people of Brooklyn, the people of this country, the people of the world, that resistance matters and that it changed the course of history. If we don't know our history, then we are doomed to repeat it. Most of you here probably didn't know much about 227 Duffield and the Truesdales. And what is happening, we are doomed to repeat it. It is happening on the border. It is happening in prisons all over this country. That is a legacy of slavery, the same thing these people were fighting against. And so it's critical for us to continue to keep this here. This is the only house left on a block that was named
Stop trying to erase our history!
Abolitionist.
Stop trying to erase our history!
Full of homes of people
Take responsibility.
of different races who were working together to end slavery. And we have one house left. We have to fight to maintain it because these hotels and these high rent, high rises, these are not going to remind us of who we are.
This part of Brooklyn was an area of Brooklyn that holds so much history. And I walked this evening up this block and I'm looking around and I'm looking and I'm like, holy blank. Look at all of these glass and steel towers. This whole block was small buildings. buildings that dated from the 1830s and the 1840s. And these two blocks, this was a community of abolitionists. Just about everybody that lived on these 2 blocks, they were abolitionists. I want you to think about it. Underground Railroad activity in the 1840s and the 1830s and the 1850s, it was illegal. It was illegal to help blacks escape.
I'm going to bring to the floor Ms. Steffi Zimfrin for the NAACP's Brooklyn branch.
Yes, I'm the chair of civic engagement, and we are in this fight. I just want to lift up a couple of things. Today. I am fresh off our national convention that was in Detroit, and we lifted up, among other things, reparations, and certainly the idea about preserving our culture. We stand today in the 400th year the first African was brought to these shores. And the disrespect that anybody would have to tear down a part of the Underground Railroad that, who said it best, that was the safe houses for us to come to freedom is absolutely disrespectful. The fact that we're now in a situation where so many African Caribbean people are fearful because of ICE and the census, that this should be a safe house for them. It should be a repository for our culture.
Yes.
We can do so many things to make sure that this stays here. First of all, it's just pure greed that they want to do it. Because the footprint of this building, anything they want to build can go around it. Between the State Freedom Trail, between the elected officials who understand how these things work and know that they can make a deal with anybody here about this. We have precedence for this because we did it at the federal building. So we all know that we have a memorial now in Manhattan where they were going to build the federal building. Yes. So there is no difference. The only thing it takes is for each and every one of us to tell each and every one of our neighbors, family, or friends, get this out and continue these protests until there is a sign that says Underground Railroad on this building. Thank you very much.
And I like what you just said, make a deal.
They can make a deal.
Make a deal.
They can make a deal.
My name is Beverly Corbin, and I'm a member of Fury Families United for Racial Economic Equality. I want to talk about Mama Joy. I met this little lady. Fury used to have a conference, and this little woman came in with her dreads and her African garb, with her ancestors behind her. And she walked into the room and attacked the city council member, who was the city council member there at that time, right, Raul? She just came up, just totally disrupted our whole conference and attacked him about not being a part of this historical landmark and not saying it was important enough to save. They had to take her out. A young lady took her out and tried to tell her to be quiet. And they got her to the door and she came right back. And I'm like, this little woman got the strength and the power that all of us in our community should have. She came to Fury's door and we said, come in and tell us. And she told us about the history of here. She explained to us how Wheatsville, they use it as a name, but how the tunnels came down Atlantic Avenue. She told us when they built this building, how they kept shoring it up because of the tunnels, that they didn't want her to tell everybody. This was a woman who went to her deathbed fighting what she believed was for her people, her community, and the abolitionists in this area. They tried to trick her by naming the street Abolition Road and saying, okay, we're going to give you a street so we can tear your building down. But she said, hell no. No, you're not. You're going to mark this building. And she fought, and she fought, and she fought with Fury members, with city council members, with everybody behind her. She did not stop. Up until her death, she fought to the point she did not want to go to the hospital because she wanted to save this history, not only for her grandchildren, but for each and every one of our grandchildren in this community. And if we don't stand up now to stop this, we're all gonna lose. We're all gonna lose. She didn't just fight for this, she fought for the people in public housing. And what was being done to the people in public housing? She didn't pick a side battle like this is my only battle. She fought for community. She wanted histories of the communities let out to what people built, how they built, and how they struggled. So don't just sit here and say, oh, this is a nice little demonstration and we want to save this building. We want to save this history. Yes. We want to save this history. We want this village to know where they came from. From her ancestors on the bottom of a boat, because we didn't get on the Carnival Cruise and stop at all the little islands and for a visit. We had to stay there and work the fields. She wants you to know from that point to this point who you are, what you are, where you're going, and the future of our children and the children to come next. So continue this war. Go on Facebook. Ask your friends, why weren't you here today to fight this? Because this is going to be a historical moment. This is going to be a moment that will go on and on. Stop letting people come in and take our neighborhood. Stop letting people come in and take our preserved houses. Stop it now. Stop poisoning our water systems. Stop taking our hospitals away. We have to fight. And the fight should start. And if we have to chain ourselves, me in my wheelchair, chain myself against the door, we will chain ourselves. Because it's going to stop today.
So I am a product of Brooklyn. My family migrated from the south of North America to the north of North America during the Great Black Migration of 1916 through 1970. And incidentally, 1916 is when zoning began in New York. So think about that. What is significant and what bothers me is the fact that I'm Brooklyn born and it seems like they're trying to push me and my people out of Brooklyn. Now let's think about that. When you look at the stats on different towns, there are only 8 states where Black Americans are even welcome today in this country.
Talk about it.
Today, 2019. Okay? And if you push us out of Brooklyn, right, that leaves us with 7 states. That's unacceptable. We have done everything we had to do to make ourselves or to become a part of the American dream. We are the American dream. And you are not going to dream without us. You're going to have nightmares without us, okay? You will have nightmares without us, okay? Now, this is one abolitionist home that we feel you need to leave alone. Leave it alone. The abolitionist home. 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 And why I say that is because I just spent the last 8 hours at an exhibit called Undesigning the Red Line. Okay? We have an exhibit that talks about slavery. It talks about the 1877 compromise. It talks about the Trail of Tears. How many times y'all gonna push black people around America? How many times you gonna try to erase our history? You cannot erase our story because we're made of energy and our story will survive even when our physical bodies are gone. Okay? That's number one. So this is really significant to me because I remember as a 17-year-old emancipated minor, they sent me to 225 Duffield, which was a welfare center.
Right there.
And I worked myself through the welfare system, through school. I raised 2 children through college. And this is with policy changes and all kind of trickery going on. But what I refuse to give up is my place in Brooklyn. I am a Brooklynite, and nobody's going to run me out of Brooklyn. I'll leave Brooklyn when I get ready to leave Brooklyn. Okay? And in the midst of all these towers, we will remain here with this tunnel as a legacy to the people who had to escape using spiritual hymns and patterns and cornrows to leave the South to try to make it to freedom in the North.
I want to just give a quick word back to Miss Betty.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, with all these hotels around, and all the tourists, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had a cultural museum here?
Yes.
So that these tourists and people who are not from Brooklyn would learn a lot about Brooklyn and its history.